I got the independent film independent screeners and for the awards, and so I got to watch finally Anatomy of a Fall, which came out I guess a couple months ago now, but well, I was not able to catch it because it was hardly around. Directed by Justine Triet, and it stars Sandra Hüller, who plays Sandra, and her husband Samuel turns up dead from a fall outside their house, and like she's suddenly the suspect in the murder investigation, and it's speculated that it could be suicide, but she claims it was an accident, and the only witness is their blind son Daniel, played by Milo Machado Grainer. And the movie kind of dives deep into the relationships within the family, as well as the court proceedings and depositions that take place as a result of the death. There's way too much English in this movie. Like everyone was like freaking out that it didn't get France's official submissions because it's borderline not even a foreign film. Like I mean, it's like past lives in that way. I don't think it's there's nearly enough French for it to actually be a foreign film. But anyway, it feels like a Netflix original series. Like they've made some really good ones like this. Like 7 Seconds, I was really a fan of, but that was especially in like the setting and the drama. It's really similar, but it's focused more on the politics rather than the actual procedural stuff. The case gets kind of brushed off though in favor of the more family drama, which isn't quite as interesting as the motive and logic, the actual framework of the case. But it's good though. I'd recommend not knowing too much about it though. There are surprises throughout, even though they're not really ones that are typical to the genre. The surprises come out in a different way. Hüller will be nominated for this. It would be kind of a bizarre director picture nominee, but I can kind of see it. The screenplay, I think, is a slam dunk, though. It's kind of terrific. I kind of put it in the category of Elle from 2016, and I expect the Academy will kind of treat it as such. It also kind of reminds me of like Prisoners, where it's like this big, way too long, slightly deeper than expected crime drama that's totally solid and is going to get overrated by almost everybody that sees it for some reason. I'm giving it 3 stars. I think it's good, but Best Picture nomination is a little much.
Wow.
What do you guys think?
Okay,
I mean, I know exactly
I just watched this. I watched this on Friday. I finished this on Friday. So this is like a mini series, like crammed in 2.5 hours in such like a precise way. Hüller is amazing in this one. It's specifically a scene with her and her husband that's fantastic here. I really enjoyed this one a lot, not knowing really anything going into it. I'm at 4 stars, man. I couldn't stop. I was like immediately hooked in this one. I really dug it quite a bit, and it's definitely one that it's kind of a must watch this year. And the screenplay is fantastic as well. So go check this one out if you're able to.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is Kramer versus Kramer if it was directed by Oscar Farhadi. So I'm gonna like the movie. I think it is Todd saying that the movie kind of skirts the issue of the murder in favor of being more of an examination of the marriage. I think that's a brilliant stroke by this filmmaker and by the screenplay. The movie went in some real unexpected directions. You're right. It's best to stay spoiler free about it, except to say, I don't know if there's a better performance this year than Sandra Hüller in this movie. She's astonishing. She's in virtually every scene. I agree with Todd that the switch between the languages is maybe a little jarring, but that makes her performance in some ways all the more impressive. And language is really important in this movie, like the actual languages that they're speaking. I have not been able to get. Yeah. I haven't been able to get this movie out of my mind. It is like Prisoners. It's long. It's maybe flawed. Maybe there are some things that I wouldn't have done with it. But show me that there is a more stimulating movie this year than Anatomy of a Fall, and I would be really impressed, because this movie absolutely is fascinating to watch and think about. So you should see it, Terry.
I know. I'm mad that I missed it the first time around.
Well, Terry is definitely going to love it too, and he's the biggest fan of Prisoners on the podcast too. So
Adam subtly points at himself.
Well, maybe,
all right.
It was on both of your top 10s, I feel like, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Yeah. Well, I just saw Prisoners for the first time this year.
I did a daily notes on it this year too. So